Well, hello, everyone. This is Jessie Bowen. I just wanted to take a moment today and reach out and say happy National Author Day to all the authors all over the world. And today we have a special program as a part of our Becoming Author podcast and Elite Publications. This is brought to you by Elite Publications. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. And to learn more about Elite Publications, you can go to our website, and that is www.elitepublications.org. And if you have a book project that's coming out, you're thinking about writing a book, or if you've written a book and you want to learn how to publish it, or if you've written a book and you want to learn how to market it, then, set up on a schedule an appointment. We'd love to talk to you. We are in the business of helping authors tell their stories, get their books out, and make the world a better place. So I'm excited today because we have several people on that we have published books for. We also have individuals on that are just great friends that are authors and well-known authors. And so we're going to start kicking it off today by introducing some of these folks. So again, I have loved the opportunities that we've shared, especially in the past year, 2 years of working together, bringing a book together, and really making it happen. And I have Maggie Messina. Hey, Maggie, how you doing?
Hi, how are you, sir?
Doing great.
Be here.
And we have Keith Yates. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
Good. And we have Gary Lee. How you doing, sir?
Hi, Heidi. How are you? Aloha.
Hey, I'm doing better and better, sir. And we have Righteous Rima. How you doing, ma'am?
Doing great. Happy to see you all.
Good. It's exciting. I'm glad to have you ladies and guys on because, I meet a lot of people and they are always say, well, I want to write a book. And they never do it. And what you have done, you've taken that step forward. So in the celebration, it's always about encouraging others to be able to do that. So I'm going to go through and have you to just tell us the name of your book, where they can get your book, and you can answer that question. Is that first question is what inspired you? So number one, the name of your book. Number two, number two is what should you know before writing a book? So in other words, if you've had in your writing process, and for someone that's listening in, what's one of the first things that you had to deal with before writing your book? And maybe you've written your book and it didn't go so well with your last publisher. So you may have a couple of things in there, things you should and should not do. So we really want for today, as we celebrate you as authors, but to inspire and encourage others to take the challenge to become a published author. Everyone has a story, and we really have to get it out. So Maggie, I'm going to start with you. So tell us the name of your book and your website, or where they can pick up your book, and what should someone know before they write a book?
My name's Maggie Messina. As you know, I wrote my book. The book that I wrote is Making Maggie, Little Miss Tri-County, and it's autobiography of my childhood. And the reason for writing the book was to inspire others to continue to continue to live and thrive, irregardless of their past. Also to let people know that you're not alone in suffering. My intentions on writing the book was, I'm sorry, Jessie. What was the second question?
So what do you think someone should know before they, make that decision to write a book? What's one thing that you feel like they should know that you probably didn't know?
Yes, I think you obviously know with the book what type of book you want to write, and I find for myself, because it was autobiography, that make sure you're ready to, you know, release it. And it's a pretty intimate book. So when you do a biography, it's very intimate. So I found it was important to be very vigorously honest and tell all and not hold much back. So for me, that took me a couple of years to come to terms that I was actually ready.
Mm.
And also know what type of impact are you looking to make? Who are you looking to impact? And just keep going with it.
Well, I love your book because and again, I do want to recognize, my guests here because some of them are martial artists. I'm a martial artist, and, Mag is an 8th degree black belt in the martial arts. And, in life, we have on these journeys, and when we can do a memoir or sharing something, because everyone goes through something. And many times it takes them years to figure it out what they were going through, or that there is a door you can walk through that somebody else has already been through. So I love your book because it shares, everyone looks at you as a very successful martial artist in New York. You have a phenomenal school, a phenomenal following, but your book shares your endeavors of coming up. So I really do love that, about your book. And I know you have co-authored in the Elite Black Belt book, Elite Martial Artist book from last year. And again, that was really exciting. And I know you have another book coming up. So Maggie, while the show is going on, what's your website?
My website is Tattered Laces, TATTERED, laces.com. And you can read a little bit about the upcoming book and also purchase the Making Maggie and also the other book that I had helped co-author.
Well, everyone go and check our website. As we're going through our guests today, they have websites up, they have stores up. So go and, check out the book. And then their books are also up on Amazon also. So check it out, but go to Maggie's website, because it is a beautiful website. It was designed by Elite Publications, and it's an award-winning website. So check it out. So I'm going to go now. My order's switched around a little bit. So Righteous Rima, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, I was joking with you a few minutes ago that you outmarket me. So, but I love your. Of course, again, you're another one of our clients from Elite Publications. And again, tell us, your book, the name of your book, where can people get a copy of your book? And, what are some things that you found that someone should know before they begin to write their book? So if you've been thinking about it, these people, people that we have on, they've already written books. Their books have already, in many cases, hit the Amazon bestsellers list. So, they are people with the expertise. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to you.
Okay. Well, I'm Misty. My real name is Misty Queen, but my pen name is Righteous Raymond. So it's like writing, but like righteousness. And Rhema is like a fresh word from God. So this book is not necessarily a Christian book, but it's a book about, it's about, overcoming narcissistic abuse, toxic relationship abuse and everything. And I share in there some examples from my own life. What I would say, what I needed to hear before writing a book, I think it was you who told me, was like, books don't just sell themselves. You can write a book. They don't mean anyone's going to buy it. So it was very important that I had a strategy. And so I think, Elite Publications, they had a strategy and they helped me to, market and to, be direct and intentional about what I wanted to do. And thanks to Elite Publications, I reached, 10 #1 Amazon bestseller lists and some new release lists. And I knew that was only possible because of Elite Publications. So I say it's very important that you get a publisher that knows what they're doing, because, you can write a book. I have friends who have books on my bookshelf right now behind me. And it's like they wrote a book, they hand wrote it. It was cheap, it was inexpensive to go write a book and go get it printed, but they maybe had not have sold anything. So I would say it's important that books don't just set, especially on Amazon. You do have to, have a team behind you to help you. Or if you just want to write a book and just so a few of your friends, that's fine. But you also have to be intentional about, what is your intention with your book? that's my book's intention, was to help and, you know, help people. I knew that I had to get in as many hands as possible, you know, and so even being in Kindle, that was very helpful because some people, you know, don't like to read paperback books. Some people just like to have their iPad in front of them, or a lot of young people my age, they just want to have an easy iPad and just scroll through on their free time on a 2-hour road trip, just read it, you know. So just having a different format was helpful. Different things about, you know, my book cover, making sure the cover was a certain way. So you can write a book, but it won't necessarily sell unless you know, have to keep in mind all that you need to do in marketing and whatnot.
Well, you know, that's a really key piece. I've written over 30 books, but it was only, and again, that was the, you know, there are 3 reasons why a person would write a book. Number one, bucket list, something I always wanted to do. I wanted to be an author. Number 2, I want my book to do something for me. And for me, mine was number 2, was to get my books to help me in my martial arts school as training manuals in the university where I was teaching at Duke University, and also to help me in my seminars. So I did business seminars, motivational seminars. So those books were designed to help me. No one had brought to my attention that I could sell them and create profit from them, because we were not at the place that we are now with Amazon. Because back when I was early writing, you had to go and pay a lot of money to get published. Then you had to buy all these books up in front. We didn't have this internet source that we had now. It was a lot more complicated than it is now. So the past 2 years, the past 8 years, my focus has been on writing books that a lot of people would want to read and know about. So you really have to think about, you know, what it is that you want from your book. And as I said before, you know, yes, your book is doing really well because every week you're touching someone with your book. You've got it out there 2 or 3 times a week. You know, you're doing videos, you're doing a really great job in your social media. So everyone, when you and I don't want you to think this is complicated. Well, you know, I got to write a book, then I got to publish the book, then I got to try to market the book. Wow, that's over my head. No, that's why you have a publisher, a publishing company. And we are a self-publishing company because we do all the heavy lifting for you. And so, and ma'am, that's great. Keep doing what you're doing. We're excited about your book. And again, you know, happy National Author Day to you. And so now I come up to a good friend. Again, he's a martial artist. He's a 10th degree black belt. And, you know, we've been knowing each other for a very long period of time. He's been in the writing business for a long time. And that's Grandmaster Keith Yates. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good to be here.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, my phone wants to talk to me. Hey, but that's about technology, and we'll touch about that. Like I said, I'm not even going to say her name because she'll start talking to me.
Yeah.
You know, but so, sir, you know, tell us about. I know you've written a lot of books. And tell us what your latest books are, and you know, you're involved in the magazine writing business. Been out there for a long time, so I guess we can touch a little bit on that history you have, you know, as a writer. So let's
Sure.
start off with what your books, and also, you know, what should someone know before they begin to write a book?
Well, real briefly, my first book was in 1982 with a traditional publisher, Paladin Press. And I went on to do another 4 books with them. So I did 5 books with Paladin. And then I did a book with Random House, another one with Blue Snake Publishing. And then I did a couple of self-published books where I went and paid to have them printed, and I had boxes of them in the garage. And then my last several have been on through Kindle publishing on Amazon. So in total, I've got 18 books. And as you mentioned, I've written, probably over 500 magazine articles for everything from Black Belt Magazine to Inside Kung Fu to Karate Illustrated. So, and I also taught communications at Southern Methodist University where I graduated. So I guess one of my advices to people trying to put a book together, like you mentioned already, was to get a team behind you. And being a professor of communications, I think it's vitally important that you get someone to copy edit and proofread the book, because I've seen a lot of books where you get several pages or chapters in and you go, well, this person can't even spell or punctuate properly. And that makes me not want to continue reading the book because it's just not professional. So I would say make sure you got somebody other than you and other than your uncle or somebody to proofread and copy edit the book. Another thing I would say is the graphic design, everything from the cover to the inside pages. And teaching communications at SMU, my primary focus was visual communications, graphic design. So I've been fortunate that I've been able to lay out the books myself and then upload them to a publisher or send them off to a publisher. And as you mentioned, my latest one is Out of the Dojo. And actually, this is a collection of not only all the black belts I promoted over the years, but I've got several of the magazine articles and columns. I did columns in probably 5 different martial arts magazines. So I took the best columns and put them together into this book. And so this particular one is one that I laid out myself. Again, being a graphic designer, I was able to copy edit myself, being a communications person, and then upload it directly to Amazon. And then you got to figure out how to price it and how to market it, just as you guys have said. So yeah, you really, if you don't have a lot of experience, you can't do it by yourself. The other thing I think I would say is if you're going to do a book, look at the audience of the book. Now, I'm well known in the martial arts, so that if I write a martial arts book and my name is attached to it, they immediately say, well, that guy knows what he's talking about. But if you want to write a book on something else, then you have to really do some market research and say, are people going to buy this book? Righteous, I've got a book on martial arts and Christianity because I did a master's thesis in theology. And so I took my master's thesis and turned it into a book. And that, interestingly, has been one of the best-selling books I've got, because people are really interested in the melding of Christianity and the martial arts. So you got to have an audience, and you got to have something that the audience is interested in, and then make it professional.
Well, and you know, you're really, that is truly correct, is that you write a book, you need to know who's going to be wanting to read your book. You know, I try to write from wherever I am. So wherever I am in life, you know, we've been blessed with the who's who in the martial arts books. We're going into year 10, and they've been very successful. They've been so successful that it actually gave birth to elite publications that trying to share this success with other authors, you know, Maggie and, Righteous Rima and Professor Gary Lease, you know, trying to share this information, because I don't really want to keep it all to myself. I want to be able to share it so we can help others. And that's what this broadcast is about today, is helping others that are thinking about writing. I mean, the greatest decision that I made was the decision in 2016 to write a second book on who's who in martial arts. But I also, you know, I'm a minister, so I have Christian books. And, 2 of the books that I've written is God Forgives, Why Not You, and God Gives Me Vision. But these are the things that I've encountered or going through in life that I felt that others could benefit from that. And both of the books have been international best-selling books. And of course, that is about marketing. Just because you write a book doesn't mean it's going to be a bestseller. Because Amazon, they release on over 4,000 Kindles every day. And your book just drops to the bottom unless you have some form of marketing with that. So that's what we help you to do. So getting your book out, getting people to read your book. But, you know, I held up my cell phone a few moments ago. You know, that's what I use. This is my writing source. So I just sit down with my cell phone and I dictate a email to myself and send it. So if someone says, well, I'm not sure about my grammar, I'm not sure about writing, we can sit down with you and do a Zoom with you, take that transcript and turn it into your book. So you really don't have to do pen and paper and writing. So we can do an interview base and turn that into your book. And Mr. Yates, I know you spoke about magazines. So as a writer, start submitting your writings to other other publications. I write for several magazines, but what you want to do is to be able to submit your writing to to others. So when you submit, that's another way to build your confidence. Do a journal. You can do a daily journal and turn it into a book about what's happening in your life. If you're good at goal setting, you can do a book on goal setting. If you have some form of expertise. So we're talking about knowledge and you defining what your knowledge is that you want to share. So yes, sir. So you definitely have, especially in the martial arts community, have really made a major contributions to that. So where can we get your book, Mr. Yates?
Well, my website is akato.org, which is actually my martial arts organization. And again, you can go on to Amazon and just type in my name, and the majority of my books are listed there, either been published through Amazon or through traditional publishers. And some of them are out of print, but most of them are there too. So basically you can Google my name and probably find most of my publications.
Right. And that's a good point. We'll touch that for a second and draw a distinction is that, you brought up, using a traditional publisher versus using or being self-published. And that basic difference is that sometimes everybody thinks as well, if I get a publishing company to publish my book, they're going to market my book and they're going to do all that stuff naturally. But that's not what happens. Even if you use a traditional company, then you still got to be promoting the book. And then they take a huge portion of your sales that come from your book. And if they give you any money, then you're not going to make any money until they get their money back. And then if you sign with them, then you also could possibly be signing away the rights to your book. And I've had many of my associates that have actually had to buy the rights back from their book so they could take control of their book. In a self-publishing, that's what we focus on is self-publishing. And what we do with Elite Publications, we don't touch your money. I don't want to deal with your money. I mean, and this is the new part that we've done in the past couple of years, because we want you to be able to have that access. And so the new part that we started off doing that, but now we have switched that, we just want to publish your book and market your book, that you get all the benefits from, having your book. So, sir, I really do appreciate that. So we're going to move over here, and I think I've got him muted. Let me see, can I unmute him? Professor Gary Lee, how are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, Hanji. How are you?
I am better, and better, sir, trying to make the world a better place. Now, you've been waving that book for the past 5 minutes.
Well, I've been very lucky. I've had 2 books. I will talk about the first one. First one was Memoirs of American Samurai, and you can go to Amazon. But I've been very lucky. I got involved with Century Martial Arts 10 years ago, and Mike Diller helped me sell over 5,000 copies of Memoirs of American Samurai. It tells the story of how we built the Sport Karate Museum, and that's the first book. Now, I was very lucky to get involved with you, and you helped me develop the History General book, which was published, I think, 2 years ago. And it's got the history generals and a lot of the history of what sport karate was developed through America. And I want to thank you, Jessie Bowen. I want to thank you, Keith Yates, because you're the man that made the first logo of the Sport Karate Museum. So you guys are very special. And, I recommend anybody that wants to do a book, the first work is research. Research research what you're going to do. And also, if you're going to do it authentically. Make sure that you do it from your heart. If you're going to tell your story, tell it truthfully and tell it what you went through. If you tell somebody else's story, again, research. I've learned that deeply. But thank you, Keith Yates. Thank you, Jessie Bowen. Thank you, Elite Publication, for the amazing book you did on the history journals. Thank you so much. And you can check out the Sport Karate Museum by going to www.sportkarate.museum.archives.com. I'm so proud of that. We had over 13,000 hits last month. And GoDaddy contacted me this morning and said that we are in the top 10 Golly Bone websites of the world. Isn't that incredible, Keith? That's amazing, man. So people are learning about sport karate, how it was developed in America because of you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, sir, as I was saying saying a few minutes ago, you're one of those people that's always marketing your book. You have an event. And so, that's if you have an event that goes on, having an event book that goes along with the event, because you are the founder of the Sport Karate Museum. And 2 years ago, we did the book. And so many people are still enjoying that book. We just finished your event in Houston, Texas, only a few weeks ago. And so many people, a lot of people came by my booth. A lot of people bought books from you. The book is up on Amazon, and your book is up on Amazon as a sales book. So your book, if they go to Amazon and they Google your name or Google our name together, Sport Karate Museum, they can get that book. I think it's about $5 and something. It's generally $24, but Amazon has it on sale. And so there's a lot of things that Amazon does to help you to be able to market your book. So with the people that we have today, the authors, these people are on because, number one, they have really invested in their books to make sure that their books are successful in everything that they're doing. So I guess I'm going to go back through and sort of ask one more question and give you guys a chance to, I'm just going to give you a chance because we're getting ready to wrap up here. We got about 3 minutes. So Maggie, anything that you would like to say about, being an author, about books, or, anything that you can do to encourage? I know, you have young people in your martial arts school, and several of them made the Future Leaders in America. And we're going to get them to put together a magazine, a kids magazine, so they can experience what it is to publish and to be published in a magazine, to be able to be a publisher through a magazine. So any last words from you?
Yeah, I was actually talking to those young gentlemen the other day, and I just advice I give is, I operate 100% from my heart, and it's all about changing lives, changing the lives of others, and trying to make the world a better place than it was yesterday through people that will lead tomorrow. And that is so important. And then also mention that integrity, be honest, and to yourself and to your audience. And having a good publisher is so essential. Unfortunately, I've experienced another company that really raked me over the coals in many ways. So, again, Elite Publications, I thank you. And it was one of the wisest decisions I made. And thank you for creating such a publication company for people like myself and others.
Well, thank you, Maggie. Thank you. Misty, I don't know to call you Righteous Rima or call you Misty. I just hang out with your pen name in there. So any final thoughts? Again, this is National Authors Day. Again, I'm proud of each of you and all the authors that we've helped to publish their book. I'm always proud, always boasting about you. in a positive way about getting a copy of your book. So any final words from you?
First of all, the only one who did not say the name of my book. I'm a first time author. So my book is called Gaslit: Escaping the Narcissist Pit. And my website is www.righteousrama.com. I actually looked at Maggie. As soon as I looked at her website, it's so beautiful. I was like, I'm going to copy her. So I had my ex-boyfriend try to copy her website as much as I could, because really, really a nice website. So that's my website. And then also Amazon. And I'm Righteous Rama on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I am social media out. So yes, definitely. And I would definitely say that, right, being an author, I think it authenticates you. I think it, makes you feel more like an authority on something when you have a book, because most people in the world have not written a book before. So if you say you're an author, a published author, most people cannot say that. So you kind of stand out. So just being an author is just an honor to say I'm an author. I'm a published author.
Well, when you become an author, you are considered an expert, so you get a pay raise. Mm-hmm. So if you were doing a public speaking and you were charging $500 to come in and speak, if you're a published author with a book on a certain topic, you can charge, 10 times that amount for public speaking. If you run a business, being an author automatically elevates you in your particular community. We're in the martial arts business for many of us. So if you're a martial artist and you have a book out and that's up on your website, I'd have a copy of that book on my desk, every parent that comes in. And guess what? I am the co-author of Elite Martial Artists in America. Here's a chapter. We require we want to gift you a copy when you sign up. So there's so many ways to help you monetize your book. And monetizing means getting people to, purchase your book. Someone says, well, I don't like money. That's okay. We have a nonprofit. It's AMAA Foundation. You can always make a donation. But, our whole thing is to really get your book in the hands of the readers. Okay. Grandmaster Yates. Any final words?
Maybe my last word of advice would be to get your friends and students to post reviews on Amazon. I've also got a YouTube channel, so I encourage people to go there and do comments, because the algorithms are built so that the more reviews and comments you have, the higher up on the list you are. So YouTube will recommend your videos and Amazon will recommend your books if there's a lot of engagement. So again, talk to your friends and your students and say, hey, go post a review of my book, because that will help the algorithm. That's why they always say, click here to subscribe and leave a comment, because that moves you further up the list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is exactly right. Building your social media. And that's one of the things you need to think about when you start writing a book is, okay, who's going to be my readers? How do I build my social media up? Because this is where the easy way for people to actually to be able to get a copy of your book is being able to do that. That's the reason when someone says, well, that's too much information. That's the reason why you get someone else to do it for you, and you just claim the success of everything that you're actually doing. That is perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, Professor Gary Lee, any final words?
Create a team, Hanji. Create a team of people that can help you become better. Because, you have to rely on other people's interests and also other people's wisdom. And if you create a team to help you become better at what you do, it'll help you. And writing a book is hard, but you have to, I suggest this. When you need to write a book, research it, and that work comes up again. Make sure you do it like Maggie said, honestly. Do it from your heart, and do it so people, when they read it, they'll understand that it's real. And that's how people get involved. But thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me be on here today. Thank you so much. Aloha.
And everyone, again, we really want to thank all of our viewers and our listeners for joining us today. And again, this is a celebration of just authors getting together and sharing our inspiration, motivating you. And we hope that next year, this time, you'll have your book out. Remember, you can reach Elite Publications. Our website is www.elitepublications.org. set up a time. We'd love to sit down and discuss your book project. And don't worry about, I don't have the skill sets, because if you believe in your book or you have a message you want to get out, we can make it happen for you. Again, this is Jessie Bowen with Elite Publications. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out.